All right, my audio is working. Getting ready to start. Welcome to episode 6 of the Daily Gear Games devlog. As we discussed last time, we're making a twin-stick shooter of the likes of Smash TV and Xeno Crisis, and we are a game design and development studio in the greater Tampa Bay area in Florida. So today we are going to work on, or rather we're going to go over a little bit of progress we made, some of the major things we completed from yesterday. For example, the shield gun and the hazards. We've completed obstacles, but not the exploding hazards. We're also going to do some commentary on Xeno Crisis, and we're going to just do the first level. Shouldn't take too long to beat. All right, so let's get started. Yesterday, you recall we went over some PowerPoint slides, and these slides showed, well, not PowerPoint, some slides I did in the Paint program, and these slides showed kind of the idea for a new gun, as you can see here. Now, this new gun would allow you to turn on a shield in whatever direction you choose, and you could rush through the enemies and kill them. And then there were things that you could rush through that would explode and hurt you, so they weren't worth exploding through. So we have that, and it's actually quite fun to play with that, as I've been doing. And then we have things that you can destroy. Now, we don't have the loot yet, unfortunately, but soon. And it's probably worth thinking about. You know, the loot allows us to give you more like bonuses and power-ups as we go. You might blow up a crate and you'll get some cash, or you might get a temporary bonus to your movement speed. And so I want to document that. Have the crates drop items and power-ups. Motivate y'all to destroy things. Okay. Now that I've written that down. So we're going to probably work on this tomorrow. And then the exploding hazards, we do not have those yet. So we don't have that for today. But just to get back to it, we're going to show this off. It works. It's a lot of fun. I definitely enjoy using this power up. Okay, so we're going to load the game. And fortunately for everybody, I have set it up to where I can restart the level at any point in time, so we don't have to have this constant reloading going on, which was a little bit annoying before, so that once this thing loads, we won't have to keep reloading it. There we go. Okay, to make it easy, I've put the power up right here. So I can press it, it uses some of its charge, it stays in the direction I picked, and hold it down, and it runs out pretty quick. So I'm holding it down. It runs out quick. So what is the point of this? I mean, it's so short, but if you see this, I'm just shredding through those guys. So it happened pretty quick, but that's what it lets you do. And it works as good as I thought it was going to work too, because that is quite satisfying. So you can use it in multiple ways. You can just hold down, and that'll run it out quick. The other way is you can press the button. So I press it, it goes for a bit. Now this is probably what people will do when they're really skilled, is they'll press it and they'll try to use as little of it as possible, so they kind of have the ability to predict how many rounds they have. For example, 8, 10, so there's about 14 times you can press that. So I'm going to just try to clear the level only by tapping it down. Oops, I might need to do that one twice. Okay, so got pretty far, but I picked up a power up, and that's going to happen. Alright. So we're starting to get us back to that stable state where you can transition between levels. I've also added the faster enemy back into the game. So that would be the red guy. Excuse me. So he will move faster than the rest, but he's not like, he doesn't do more damage. But he doesn't take more damage. Something I'm going to do to make the room transitions better is when you're walking through the rooms, there's like a ceiling that you can see while you're walking through. I want that ceiling to cover the character, so if you observe here, when I go up, I'll actually walk over it. I don't want that. I want it to go under it. So that's just a little bit of work. Not too much. I'll probably get it done in probably tomorrow or tonight even. And so now, the obstacles. So I can't walk through these tables, and the bad guys can't either. But I can destroy them. It doesn't take much to destroy them. Just shoot about 3 or 4, about 5 times actually. And then there's these filing cabinets that you can destroy as well. So I can make as many of these objects as I want. I can even make ones that you can't destroy but are in your way. So like some rooms, maybe a basement or a higher level in the mission, you might have more pillars in the room and you have to go around them. Oh, I picked up something. Oh, I have some other ideas to make this a little more interesting. Is I'm going to have items that are usable, but are not your gun. So you can continue to shoot your weapon, and then you can press maybe the shift key or something, and it will place a fake obstacle. So say you're getting chased and you're not going to be able to get through, you just drop it, makes a wall, or a landmine, or a grenade, things like that. Oops, got killed there. A baseball bat. Yeah, I mean that would be nice. Something that could hit like the three or four enemies in front of you, have a limited amount of uses, it'll break. Alright. Hey, I mean, these are the main updates I had so far. So just to kind of recap, since yesterday we made those design documents and then I started working on the implementation this morning, and I'm already showing off a fully functioning shield gun that I could add upgrades to, like projectile deflection and things like that. It only took me the morning to do so, I'm probably going to keep this rate going, where I'll do design documents and then more things. So for example, with the baseball bat, I could, just make another another little design document of that. Okay, let's see what we got here. So that's that. Lock that. I mean, there's not much to it, but you'd have some sort of baseball bat thing. That your character could use. You press the button and he just swings it. That looks funny. Alright. Yeah, let's get rid of that. So he's got a kind of a baseball bat thing. And the idea is it swings. And so then if you had a bunch of these guys here, they'd get hit. And then they kind of look like this dead goop stuff. Victory. Darker bat. Bonk. So that's just a quick presentation of what we've gotten done today, and plan on getting a lot more done tomorrow as well. The baseball bat's great idea. What I was thinking we would use the rest of the stream for today would be to do a quick Xeno Crisis stream while also writing some commentary. Now, I want to do it in a way that I can actually write the commentary and not have to minimize the screen or anything, so we shall see if there's an easy way to do this or not. So I'm going to load up Xeno Crisis. I'm going to have it windowed. Oh, you know what? You got to start your controller before the game.
Xeno Crisis.
Do that. Okay, it's taking its time. Let me try again. Okay. This is where things take longer than you expect, so you just got to deal with it. Yesterday I talked about exploding obstacles, so things you can shoot like canisters of fuel and other various things like beakers that have acid in them and makes a mess, and the bad guys walking in, they take damage. And can implement things like that. And then they could have various damage types. So like an acid could melt the bad guy and he'd have a different death animation than say if he just got shot. And so something to note about Smash TV is that they do that. And I don't recall if Xeno Crisis did that, so let me see if I can get this to capture Xeno Crisis. Oh, perfect. We got it on the first go. Okay. And let's get a picture of me in there. And there we are. As quick as I could do it. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to swap back and forth between the commentary, or I'm going to switch between commentary and the gameplay, and then I'll talk about the game. I have a notepad here, so whenever I'm doing commentary, it'll look like this. And whenever I'm playing the game, it'll look like this. So I'm playing the game first. I'm probably gonna. I think it pauses the game when I click away, so I'll be able to really get into this. I don't normally play the Marine character because he's slower than the pro character.
Your mission begins now.
I should actually show
Xeno Crisis.
flying in.
Make your selection.
Pretty cool.
Commencing operations. Your mission begins now. Room cleared.
So I can roll in this game. There's these dog tags which allow you to buy gear. I use directional for shooting. And then I can slash and I can throw grenades. And that's pretty much it.
Stay alert.
So they have this limitation in this game where you need to have ammo to shoot. You run out of ammo. There's no reloading. You can go backwards or forwards. So if you complete a room, there's no bad guys. You can go back freely. As far as going back, I've spoken before. I don't want you to go back. You only can go forwards. Okay, so they've got a flash attack that auto means if you get close to an enemy, but if you get to it too quickly, you'll take damage. So now I got this gun here. It's an auto gun. The music is much louder than my voice. Okay, so I can turn down the. I'm going to turn down the game audio. The volume mixer real quick. Okay. You know what? A little bit more. Always got a little bit of these technical difficulties. Okay. So I'm going to lower it to about half Okay, this should be good now. And you'll let me know. So when I shoot, bullets come out and they disappear pretty quickly.
Rescue the humans.
Thank you.
So something you may have noticed is each room, they tend to add an additional monster. So this one was the big blob. The one before it, I think, was the four-way turret. Before that was the alien, like from Aliens versus Predator. And then before that was
Rescue the humans.
these little crab things.
Game over.
Something that Xeno Crisis does is that they randomize every level,
Xeno Crisis.
which is actually nice depending on what you're trying to do. This has a lot of replayability, but there's not a lot of room for creating an atmosphere,
All clear.
or
Watch out.
what do you call it? Everything just feels random. There's no plot, no progression.
All clear. PFG.
So they have medkits.
All clear.
So this gun's kind of a hold and shoot gun. You hold it, let go, it shoots. Which is kind of cool.
All clear. Rescue the humans.
Just walk over these little odd things. Okay. I gotta pay attention if I'm gonna beat this and show you the boss. So, something I'm noticing already is there's quite a difference between the way they are doing things and I'm doing things. So, for example, I'm doing spawn. Let's get this to be bigger so you can see. They're doing just a bit loud. Okay, so I probably can lower the volume a little bit more to 25. Okay, that's as low as it's going to get. So they're not doing massive amount of enemies. They're kind of just introducing combinations of bad guys that then can overwhelm you with their projectiles. So it's more of a less but more effective. Whereas what we're going for is massive amount of enemies that are less effective, and then bigger things come later on. Okay, so I've lowered it quite a bit. I don't want to turn off the music because it's kind of nice. They don't have a volume slider in the settings, and that's probably because this originally was made for Sega Genesis. Okay, looks like the next room will be the boss fight. Dog tags will, once I beat the boss, will allow me to buy upgrades. Alright, so, big monstrosity. The best thing you can do when fighting this boss is to get a shotgun. As if that's something you can always get. One time I got the shotgun and I beat this level in about 11 seconds. The boss fight was about 2 to 3 seconds. So this boss fight is just a lot of going back and forth. You can throw grenades in there if you want to speed it up. Quite easy. I really enjoyed this game. Got B. To get, I think, S rank, you have to not get hit more than once. My brother has beaten the game with, I think he got S rank the whole game. So the way they do story progression here is they do these pixel art and then text on the bottom. And I like the way they've done their characters at the bottom, so I'm going to take a note of that. It's got a nice kind of progression of things. So if you look, it's starting with a light blue color and then progresses to a white at the top. That's a nice effect. So here's what I was talking about. So the way that my brother approaches this game is you need to get the power upgrades, and I agree with him. These levels that come up get really, really hard. So this is it. They have a max here. Like if you look at health, actually if I press this button here, if I do this here, okay, so let's get it set up first. Okay. So you notice here, oh, it's not I was hoping I could get my cursor in there, but I can't. Anyways, so the health power up for the female character versus the male character is different. Same thing goes for speeds and ammo limit. For example, she only has one speed upgrade because she's starting at a much faster speed than the male character, I believe. So she can only upgrade once, whereas I think he can upgrade twice. The ammo limit's a nice upgrade. It increases how much ammo you're given with, I believe, all your power-ups, not just your main gun. Yeah, so all of them. We can increase health, grenades, grenade damage. Gas mask will protect you from deadly gas attacks. Yeah, this is nice pixel art. Definitely nice pixel art. They have quite good pixel art team on their Kickstarter. They have some really good artists. So this is similar to what I would go for as well. I would like to have kind of the max upgrades that you can get with between level purchases, but I also would want to have in the level power-ups you pick up that are not permanent, like they last for that level. So say you upgrade to max speed, you could pick like 2 more power-ups and have an actualized max speed of 5 instead of 3. And same thing goes for power. I would do that. And health, yeah, I would probably do most of the things. Alright, I'm doing a little bit more because I'm feeling a bit good here today on this. Alright, so we started out with just the regular aliens. Alright, and I believe they're going to introduce a red one. Yep. So these red ones, you want to kill these guys because they shoot projectiles. And the way to die in this game is always about projectiles. You can easily avoid a lot of the walkers. These things They're not that hard. Okay. Nice. They have ability where you can drop the gun. I forget which button. Yes, it's the left shoulder button will get rid of the weapon you have. It does have good sound effects. I'm gonna write that down. I mean, sound effects, they do a lot of the work for you. So I'm just writing here that enemy progression is room by room. Starts easy and gets harder. That first boss fight was just all about shooting. There was just shoot and move, shoot and move, shoot and move. The next boss fights will be a lot harder. All right. Okay, we got a red key. So the reason why they can do this is because you can go backwards in the game. So they have a key card. The key card unlocks the door, and you need to get through that door to progress. Now, I don't really want you to go backwards. So this door here was closed. But I don't want you to go backwards, I only want you to move forward. So I probably won't do that. I might do something where there are like nice bonus rooms that get locked if you don't get the key cards. Boom. Something else I'm noticing is they don't just play. They don't. So when I pick up loot in the game that I've made so far, it just plays the sound as many times as you pick the thing up. I was noticing when you shoot the gun, it seems like it has a loop that it does, that loops and loops and loops, and it doesn't play the sound effect for how many bullets you shoot. And I might make that modification because it just sounds better.
Watch your back.
It's very satisfying. So their flamethrower is nice. Okay. Death Viper. Am I shooting his tail? No, it's shooting his head. I will use a continue here. You cannot beat this game if you use continues. You'll get the bad ending. So I'm doomed to have the bad ending now. So grenades deal a lot more damage to the boss than your regular attack. Alright, so this guy, what's new is that the projectiles come from a different location. We interrogated one of the locals. So the first time I played that game, I was playing this with my brother, and I read that and I couldn't stop laughing because of how stupid the alien looked and the text together. I don't know why it was so funny, but it was. Okay, so first boss, stationary. Projectiles come from stationary object. Second boss, the projectiles come from a moving monster. So the progression is also in the bosses.
Make your selection.
So the second level looked like the first level. You were still in a facility. Okay, so the next thing I like getting is speed, health, and I think I can get 2 of those. Alright, so now I've got a lot more ammo. Oh man, this is good.
Room clear. Here they come.
So we're not. See, so there's one of the obstacles. Okay, so I am getting a bit overwhelmed with the projectiles. Okay, so from what I remember, going up is what you're supposed to do, but I want to show the side stuff. Okay, as discussed before, they're going to add more and more monsters every room, like a new monster type and a new maximum amount of monsters, like monster types in a room at once. Nice. I don't remember if the humans can actually die. So the rolling dynamic is nice in this. It allows them to basically put situations where you're not going to be able to make it through with just moving. So they can add that element. They can also add something like obstacles that you only can get past by rolling through. They also can make rolling part of a way to deal damage. So earlier in the game, there were those little worm things. You could roll over them and it would kill them. Later in the game, there'll be a guy with a shield and you can roll into him and it'll knock his shield up. Oh! Dead.
Continue.
Okay, I don't remember if this makes me start at the beginning of the room. Okay. Alright, those gas clouds are not fun. So they also added the bird thing that's annoying to deal with. Okay. Something to think about here is that there are issues, not issues, but hazards that develop. So there are things that are present right now that if you don't deal with them, they will become overwhelming. For example, they have this artillery thing that drops green gas. They have the birds that move around a lot and shoot. Then they have the alien thing that jumps. So if you don't deal with those things, you will get overwhelmed. For example, when those things jump, you see a shadow going somewhere. And if you don't move out of the way, you'll get hurt. And if there's too many of them, you're going to just get hit like I did. Or if you're really good, you'll just dodge it. Okay. Yeah. So the power-ups are on a timer, so instead of conserving ammo, it's actually just better to just keep shooting. Alright. We are. I think this is the last room of this level. There is no boss on this level. I don't recall there being one. I'm getting close to dying again. I was wrong, it wasn't the last one. Yes. Yeah, so that's not easy. I imagine the difficulties in the game I'm making are not just going to be because of projectiles, but they'll be more because of the sheer amount of bad guys that you have to deal with. So you have to make a decision between like shooting through this way or shooting through that way. But the power-ups, I've noticed something with this game is that the power-ups are less frequent. So in Smash TV, for example, the power-ups the Xeno Crisis power-ups are a bit slower. What that does is you have to rely more on your rolling skill or your dodging ability than getting the right power-up to protect yourself. I haven't decided yet which way to go on that.
Here they come.
Oh, got one more continue. That's great. think if I could, I think what I would have gotten next, if I did this again, would have been more health. Because this level's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Oh yeah, I guess that's another note. The levels get to be a lot longer. Okay, so that's it. I just died. Yeah, it's actually a lot of fun. So she's dead. I've lost. So that's over. We've reached the end. All right, so I definitely want to not beat the game the first time I play it through. I want to feel challenged. I did not win. I didn't win Smash TV either. A good barometer would be to take somebody who's beaten Smash TV and Xeno Crisis, maybe even one of the record holders of Xeno Crisis, and have them do a playthrough. Luckily for me, I'm the sibling of the record holder, so it'll be easy for me to get somebody to do a playtest, which is great. So I got quite a bit of info here, just through that quick playthrough. I've also got some good references for artwork, and some more ideas that I can put into place. Okay. So what's in store for tomorrow? So tomorrow I'm going to do more development and probably make some more artwork. Try to get something that I haven't talked about brought to y'all. So it's not something I've done on the live stream, but something I'll do offline. You know, the aspects that I'm not announcing, it'd be nice to have those be a surprise instead of a predictable event here. So I have some things I'm working on. So tomorrow I hope I can present them. If I can't, then I'm just going to do a devlog of what was done and then talk about the progress that we've made so far, like where we started, where we are. And then I want to give a kind of an update of what to expect for next week. So we'll have the schedule for next week as well pushed out. So that'll be good. All right. So that was the stream for today. If there's any questions, I'll answer them. However, we're about at the end, so I'll wait a little bit longer before cutting the stream to answer questions. To answer questions. To answer questions. There we go. Don't want to have it repeat myself. Okay, great. So I don't see any questions, so that's fine. All right, so this is Gare Games signing off, and I'll see y'all next time. We stream every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop recording